Yo, what up guys? Gelfacey here. Today I'm bringing you another video, this time about doing expedition. Today what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be farming logbooks. And a logbook is basically a big map where you get a really big expedition, you get a lot of bombs, and you can get underground areas and certain special types of chests. In this video, I'm also going to go through how expedition works, how to play it, how to best use your bombs. To begin, this is a mapping strategy first and foremost. We're going to be farming logbooks for profit. These are going for about 0.8 divine each. Right now, you must be wondering, wait a minute, they're going for 0.8 divine? I thought they were worthless because if you hop onto trade site right now and you go over, put in expedition logbook into the search bar, you're gonna see they're going for 1 exile, 4 exile, 5 exile. But no, none of these guys are actually selling them. If you whisper them, they're not gonna respond to you. The reason why is because they're price fixing. They're putting it there to try and catch people out who actually listed at this price. You have to sort by the time someone has posted, and you're gonna see they start at 90 to 100 exile. And this guy who listed it at 90 has no idea how much it's worth. He listed it for way too low. If you whisper him, he's not gonna sell it to you. He's just gonna list it at a higher price. If you scroll down, you're gonna start seeing that the prices somewhat settle around 130 exile, 120 exile. And if you're not happy with the prices on trade site, you can actually go onto a Discord server known as Forbidden Trove. It's called TFT. You can go over there, sell your logbooks in bulk. People pay much more on that website. It's actually a Discord server. I'm gonna link to it below. Go take a look. Now jumping right back into the game, I'm just gonna explain how I set up my atlas for this strategy. As with any other strategy, I cleared out an area with a bunch of lost towers close to each other, and I cleared all of these towers already, and I haven't put a tablet in them yet. I already have some tablets rolled, and the prefix I got on this tablet is increased quantity of items found in maps, and the suffix is increased quantity of logbooks dropped by runic monsters in maps. And you can see some of these are rare. I bought them off of trade. I had a bit of extra currency. The rare ones drop from the Arbiter of Ash. You don't really need those. Just get the ones with the two prefixes and suffixes, increased quantity. I believe how they work is that they multiply off each other, and I'm just going to drop them in with the ones that are most potent on these two towers that I think will affect the most nodes. I use the ones with the best modifiers on them in the center as they will affect the most nodes in an area, whereas in the ones in the edges, they will affect less nodes, and the ones on the left side in particular, they also cover some water area, which means that they won't get as much coverage with the suffixes and prefixes. Now that I'm back in my hideout, I want to go through something new. So as in my previous videos, I always recommend this omen over here. The Omen of Resurgence. It fully recovers your life, mana, and an energy shield when you reach low life. Do note that this doesn't work if you're using Chaos Inoculation. You cannot go low life when you only have 1 life. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the Omen of Amelioration actually still has a chance to activate, even though omens state that only 1 can be triggered in an instance, which is 1 run of a map. And the reason why the Omen of Amelioration can actually go off is because there are many situations where I actually die getting from 100 to 0 health. So I do not actually get a chance to use the Omen of Resurgence because I don't actually reach low life. I just instantly die. And in this case, when I'm trying to level up, as you can see, I'm pretty close to a level up. The Omen of Amelioration is actually really good. Another thing I want to go through is I want to go through the expedition tree for this setup. So most importantly, I do take this detail records node over here. It increases the amount of logbooks that drops from monsters. The ones before that increase the amount of monsters, so there's some synergy there. These two are particularly good. Honestly, if your build is strong and can handle it, you might even consider this Oppenheimer node. It changes the way the bombs function so that you only have to place 1 instead of having to place a chain of bombs. I wouldn't take this one. I don't think it's very good. Chests are nice, but if you want logbooks, I think monsters are more reliable. I would really like these two nodes over here. Not for this one. I don't care about the artifacts, they're worth very little, but because over here we have 50% increased number of expedition monsters, it is very nice to have more rare monsters. But the problem with this is that these node over here does nothing. This node, I don't care about the exalted coins, they're like 1 exalt each. So instead, I do take these to increase the effect of remnants. These will make the modifiers more potent, more dangerous, but more rewarding. And this one will increase the amount of downsides and upsides for remnants. If you don't understand any of this, don't worry, we'll get into them real soon. As for the rest of my atlas, it is similar to the breach video I made. Increased quantity of precursor tablets, double effect of precursor tablets, increased effect of waystones. This is great when we were stacking different towers on top of each other. I always take local knowledge, even though it's not good for certain biomes. Just too lazy to swap it out. I take increased number of rares, increased waystones, increased quantity, rarity. Come down here and take grueling journey, as well as deadly evolution, which I only recommend if your build can handle it. Now we're in a map with an expedition. Real quick, I'm just going to take you through some of the basics. When we're doing an expedition, one of the main things we're getting from it are artifacts, and what they do is they let you craft on a certain basis. And the base type is determined by who the artifact belongs to. And if you see over my expedition over here, you can tell that it's led by someone called Tujin, this short man here. Tujin's artifacts allow you to craft on jewelry. They are called Black Scythe artifacts. And there are two other members, one named Rog. His artifacts will let you craft on armor bases, whereas Grenon's will let you craft on weapons. There's this fourth person named Danik. If you get him in an expedition, he will allow you to exchange his currency for anyone else's. So right now I'm running around trying to see if there's a remnant with the modifier. Increased chance to drop logbooks from runic monsters, but there isn't. That's quite unfortunate, but I'm just gonna place my bombs down and explain really quick. So when you click on your bomb button, you're gonna get a green circle. That's your blast radius, and the bombs can't be too far from each other. It's a chain, and if you see my cursor right now, you're gonna see some red flags. These are where the monsters are. When you bomb them and catch them in the blast radius, they're gonna pop out. The big flags are stronger monsters, whereas these little gravestone, tombstone things are remnants, and they apply modifiers to that bomb and all subsequent bombs. Now we have taken immune to physical damage and 26 pack size. The second bomb is going to apply 26 pack size as well, for a total of 52% increased pack size. Monsters will also have increased maximum life along with the immune to physical damage. And as you can see, there was a remnant that said monster hits cannot be evaded, but I'm an evasion build. I'm not going to take that. Instead, I'm going to take the ones in this corner over here, and with my final bomb, I'm going to take some monsters. In this case, my bomb was just a bit too far away, so I had to undo to get my final bomb to reach the last two flags. And when we're ready, we just hit detonate explosives, and all of them will blast in order of placement. Now, we just kill them before it gets out of hand. And remember, if there's too much loot on the screen, you can just hit Z to get rid of everything. Unfortunately, for this map, we did not get any logbooks, not from the monsters and not from the chests as well. But in the future, I will show you some other expeditions and we can go through it to see how we can maximize our chances at getting a logbook. Starting off my second map, I take this remnant that gives me increased number of rare monsters, but it makes the enemies immune to lightning damage, which essentially halves my damage, but that's not too much of a problem. I take a look at the other remnants, I decide on this one in particular because there's two chests and a big flag over there, as well as increased rarity. But as I place down these bombs over here for the other remnant that gives me rare mobs, I realize that it's not very efficient. I essentially have to waste away my last bomb. So instead I take the magic pack first so that I can use up that last bomb before I move over to the remnant with rare monsters in the corner. The mods over here were actually really dangerous because I stacked up about 130% penetrate cold resistance, which meant that I essentially had 0 cold resistance. That's why I really kept my distance over here. You really gotta be careful with certain mods. Expedition mobs also tend to have cold damage as well. And over here I was really happy to get a logbook from one of the monsters. But the best part was that when I opened one of these chests, I got another 2 logbooks. Nice. Yo, what's up guys? Finally back in the hideout. Now I'm just gonna take my time to explain why the logbooks are so valuable, and the main reason is the boss drops from Olroth. One thing is that Olroth's flask drops for about 25 divine each, and there's another jewel called Heroic Tragedy. I think it's about 30 divine each. Just as I checked, it's about 10% to drop. The flask is about 2.5%, and that is why the fight has a lot of value, and therefore the logbooks have a lot of value as well. I'm gonna put up a picture of the drop table so you guys can see it. Wow, now that I'm looking at it, it is weird that the life loss that drops less often is worth so much less. But it just goes to show how unpopular playing life builds are. Builds that go CI cannot use this life flask at all. Well, thank you guys for watching the video all the way up to this point. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it helps. Please leave a like and a comment. Tell me what you liked about it, what you disliked about it. What do you think about Expedition? And subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.